Warzone and Battlefield 6 Battle Royale are in big trouble.
Finally, we have another disturbing similarity between REDSEC and Warzone, as you'll see here in a tweet that comes out from Mr. Doug Dimmadome Warzone. BF6 BR launch playlist. Exclusive duos and squads is currently planned to be the only team sizes available at launch for the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale / REDSEC. So with 100 player count max, that's a total of 25 teams of 4 or 50 teams of 2 in every match of REDSEC. Now, how is this necessarily a bad thing? You see guys, from my perspective, I've always been under the impression that playlist selections in a game, especially a live service game, is not the right move. I just don't think it's worth splitting up the player count for any reason, and we'll get into why this is happening very shortly. But if people didn't like the fact that you couldn't play duos or trios at any point in time in Warzone, it's gonna be the exact same shit here in the Battlefield 6 BR. People don't want to be forced into a specific playlist. Just open it up for everybody immediately. And this is something that did happen with Call of Duty Warzone, so I'm curious to see why the flying fuck these people think it is a good idea to do it in REDSEC as well, especially considering the fact that it is supposed to be the competition to Warzone. Well, we do have an answer for that, and yes, it comes out from the guy that you fucking expect.
Fuck you, Doug!
Just as a reminder to everyone, Warzone launched with trios only back in March of 2020.
Call of Duty, Battlefield 6. These are the two games that are dominating markets right now until GTA 6 comes out next year. But we are seeing some troubles right now with Call of Duty, Warzone, basically losing players for not listening to the community, removing things that were great. Duos, trios, these were awesome things, that we might not be getting anymore. And that's the big problem I'm seeing here right now. Seems like the REDSEC Battle Royale is trying to do the same things that Call of Duty is doing, trying to get into the market share, and then suddenly just adding vehicles and hoping people will switch from Warzone to their new free Battle Royale. And this is where I think the big problem is coming in, because the only new thing that I'm seeing with, Battlefield 6 Battle Royale is the new destruction, which, yes, it is amazing. The vehicles seem way overpowered, so what your new meta will be to have the RPG for these vehicles. Only point in Fortnite for vehicles is actually having, going from point A to B. And same in Warzone. The entire point of vehicles is they are glass shields. As soon as someone spots you in a vehicle, you can be gone. These vehicles aren't, covered with layers of tanks or have weapons on it. For this exact reason, they are made as a transport. They're not made to dominate the game. And I feel like the end game of REDSEC could be in the future like a tank meta, where 4 of the squads are just in tanks and camping out there, or their own vehicles. It really does seem like that Battlefield 6 REDSEC is just going the same path and steps that Warzone did 5 years ago, because they failed with Firestorm. I don't even realize why they made it pay to play. For example, that you needed to own Battlefield 5. So 7 years later, when it was way too late for Battle Royales, they just went ahead and, released it again in under, a new game that say, it's gonna be free now, but 7 years have passed, nothing has happened. And Warzone, has a pretty big market share along with Fortnite.
A shadow drop, but I don't want this to be hype just because of it being a surprise shadow drop. I want it to be hype because it's actually fucking good. And to start closing this video, guys, we have another tweet about Battlefield 6 and the marketing for REDSEC, and it comes out from Doug Dimmadome Warzone. And no, I'm not gonna meme him again because I think it's getting played out, honestly.
The real problem is when you have 7 years of Battle Royales, a lot of them end up not being profitable. And if you don't have anything new to add to the table, for example, other than tags and destruction, the game is just gonna flop. This is where I see the big problem. Nobody has been talking about Battlefield 6 Battle Royale at this point, because the only reason people would play the Battle Royale is because it's fresh, so streamers could try it out. And for the second part, they don't like Warzone. These are the only 2 points where I see, people are actually gonna actively play this game.
If I listen to everyone say, oh, dude, W game or fucking L game, because no one's happy. No one will ever, there's no game that I play that everyone's like, thank God we're on this game. None of you.
So Team the Tatman completely crashed out on Black Ops 7 versus Battlefield 6. So yeah, people aren't happy that Team the Tatman is playing Black Ops 7 or that he's playing Battlefield 6. These games are very diverse though. In that matter, they are completely different type of games, And that's what really got Tim the Tatman. He basically said, nobody's going to be happy if I play this or that game. And I completely agree with that.
I think I may be cooked. But yeah, long story short, I'm on Battlefield today, guys. Hey, okay? But there's something calling me. I can't ignore it, man. There's something calling me about Marvel this season. I don't know what it is. Now, am I saying I'm hopping out Marvel tomorrow? I don't know. But I am going to say, I'm going to give today's stream, and I'm going to play it, and based on how I'm feeling, there's a chance tomorrow. That game, for some reason, I've been watching some videos on it. I've been watching videos. I've actually, and I don't typically do this. I've been watching videos just kind of on the gameplay, how the game plays. This Arc Raiders game that's coming out here.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that people are moving on from Battlefield 6, and while it did have amazing destruction, the community has already dropped by half, and the other half is probably going to be sticking to COD as well, which makes me quite worried for Battlefield 6 if another game coming out like an extraction shooter, which is an amazing game to be honest, could just overtake Battlefield at this point. And this is why I think
where someone's like, Battlefield's better, Call of Duty's better. No, this is why Battlefield's better. And at the end of it, the guy goes, oh, actually, yeah, I agree with you. I agree. At first I liked Call of Duty, but now you're right. I think I like Battlefield.
So yeah, there is an important factor you have to take away from his stream. It's mostly that Call of Duty has changed and Battlefield has changed as well. These are inherently two different games. While Call of Duty makes more money, I definitely think it has less fan support right now. Like, the people who really love it will always buy it. But Call of Duty has been very steadily actually losing players at this point. And we actually saw also the earnings for Call of Duty, which are public. So they are making a lot of money from this. They're making from $27 to $35 billion, especially with Black Ops 6. They made most money before. Maybe Black Ops 7 is going to be their first game that they haven't succeeded that much. A lot of these streamers are just hyped to try a new game, and after like 2 weeks, REDSEC is gone. There's like no player count at all. And even that they didn't launch Battlefield 6 Battle Royale at launch already lost them, what, 400,000 players? So the player count of Battlefield 6 is already down more than by half. There is about 131,000 players live right now, about 200,000. While at peak, we had 750,000 players. So if we account that also for their EA app, that's about 1 million players versus 300,000. So 70% of the player base is gone. And I don't understand, unless they return for the Battle Royale, this is going to be a very big problem on how to retain this player base. The big advantage Warzone has is it is on consoles, and you can play there and have lots of fun there. It's going to be free for everyone. There just seems like that, a lot of people are just choosing BattleSec or whatever it is for the sake of it. A lot of these streamers are saying, okay, this is going to be an awesome game, just play the games, right? But I don't want to be in this situation playing games because they launched. I'm done with that. So many games launch per year and they're free to play. They make no sense. There's so much content nowadays that these games want your money and want your attention, and they just keep re-releasing these type of games. And again, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry, so as long as you get like a few buyers in, you get some big whales, you're gonna have lots of revenue coming in.
Simply not be a good look whatsoever. Now guys, in closing, I want the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale to succeed, but at the same time, I don't want it to succeed so goddamn much that EA takes it upon themselves as a greedy corporation to start prioritizing that game experience over the multiplayer for Battlefield 6. They talk a lot about data, but as we've seen in the data ourselves, there's a lot of implications and suggestions here with a free-to-play Battle Royale that point towards the multiplayer experience as a paid...
Big issue right now with Battlefield 6, and the reason why I haven't bought it yet is because there isn't enough content yet at this point. Call of Duty just released that this will be the biggest Season 1 update in history. In the last, 20 years, they were making content and all, or 10 years or whatever. We are going to be seeing so much content from Call of Duty, and they just backtracked everything and made an awesome update. While Battlefield 6 doesn't have these resources, they spent over $400 million on the game itself, development rumored, and also they made about $220 million in the first week alone. So yes, they are going to recoup that money, but basically Battle Royale is going to be another cash cow for the game players also who can't afford the game and want to play on the PlayStation app. It's going to be a way for them to make the money, and if they see that REDSEC is going to make more money than Battlefield 6 multiplayer, you can bet that Battlefield 6 multiplayer will be left behind and they will be focusing on the Battle Royale. But I'm very worried here is how much effort will they put into this? Will this be another basic cash grab that we're seeing a lot of time? Or is this going to be something completely new? Let me know in the comments below, but you get the idea. Battlefield 6 needs to focus on its core first and then, make the sidelines or find a good revenue to actually release Battlefield games every year. This is going to be the super hard part, taking a big market share of Call of Duty. It's so behind right now that it's going to just not make sense for them to release every year because they would be literally in negative. The amount of work they needed to release Battlefield 6 was a make or break scenario. They didn't do it with Battlefield 5. They didn't do it with, Battlefield 1 was a success, but a lot of missteps getting to Battlefield 6. Like Battlefield 2042 was a major disaster, and now Call of Duty is dominating the market. So I don't know if REDSEC is going to save them. I don't know what can at this point, but they're doing